Thank you, Saturn, for starting with that beautiful sound, just to set the energies as we'd like them to be. So today we are doing a impromptu channeled reading for healing. Both of us unexpectedly had tarot cards and oracle cards ready for today's session. And when we spoke about it, we realized that we can actually gain wisdom from a few of our sort of resources and little archetypal connections in our understanding and our narratives. So yeah, here is Saturn. Will you just show us which cards you have and what do you think the decks would sort of represent?
Okay, so I have the illuminated playing deck cards, and they're quite wonderful. They're very polarized, very yin and yang, I feel. And I feel it's also a very balancing energy, especially in these times of chaos where we're basically purging. And so I feel they represent the balance that we are bringing into the world at this point in time.
Cool, and maybe the balance we're trying to find.
Yes, within ourselves. And ultimately, this balance is usually what's needed to heal in the end. So it's the universe really guided us today to this moment.
It has been a special conversation. Obviously, we had a bit of pre-conversation before we decided to do this reading for everyone. So the cards that I've got that I work with primarily are it's the Gaia Oracle and the Unicorn Oracles. And what was really funny is when Saturn and I started discussing it, we realized how our cards both have the polarities in them and the balance. So we were like, this is meant to be a reading. So for me, the Gaia cards are a lot more useful for me when I want that feminine grounding energy. And whenever there's sort of choices or emotional things to do or whatever, I always find that this gives me guidance as to how to nurture myself, but with a form of structure. So not necessarily the masculine discipline, but within the structure of the system. Like the earth has its own structure, and it's a very nurturing and sharing structure. And then the Unicorn deck, such a pretty deck. This one for me is masculine, but masculine in terms of more like the mystical version. In other words, take action from guided spiritual sources, from ideas, from concept, from the quantum realm, which is very masculine, and then bring that. And the unicorns are like this, you ride on their back, and their horn is, just shines light, so you are guided wherever you go with that support of the unicorn, which is that very masculine support. So we've both got feminine and masculine. It's very cool. And I think we decided to just go with the flow and see what comes up. So let's just begin. Like, why don't we do a connecting meditation, just you and me, and maybe like start with our hands on our cards. I'm going to place my left onto Gaia and my right onto the unicorn. I just feel like the left connecting to Gaia works for me. And we're going to just close our eyes for a moment and just get comfy. And anyone watching this, if you would like to join in this meditation, what it's going to do, because our thought processes and meditation happens energetically in the quantum realm, time is irrelevant. So it doesn't matter if you watch this in 10 years' time. If you close your eyes, you're going to connect to the thought space that we go to, because it is not defined by time. So join in and connect, and this message will be just for you. Right, so hands on the decks. Nice breath. Just let your body acclimatize. Get comfortable. Begin to notice the color behind your eyelids. Perhaps it looks like TV static, bright colors, different hues of red and orange. Just focus on that visual for a moment. Taking a nice big breath. Let it out. And now move your attention to the top of your sinus area, where as you breathe in, you feel the air going past that area. To the top of your throat, focus on that point. As you're breathing, just breathe naturally in and out. And now you're going to imagine that visual point that was in front of your eyes, moving just above that area at the top of your throat. So you're just visualizing this. You're doing it intentionally. And I want you to imagine a beam of light shining up through the top of your head from that point, like a whale or a dolphin's blowhole. The light is shining right up through there. And then imagine another beam of light from that point shining right down into your heart. And when it reaches your heart, it just shines like the sun. And you see the sun coming through the clouds, and you can see the rays. It just explodes out through the heart like the sun, rays of light. And just allow this visual we're just opening up light channels, and as we know from fiber, light carries information. So we are just opening up our light channels. We're creating one through the top of our head and one through the filter of our heart, the stencil, sending out that light through the heart. I want you to focus on the way the light is shining away from your heart, like the rays of the sun. And you will soon see it make contact with another light object. And now take a bit of an observer perspective. Zoom out from yourself. And all you can see is the light coming out from your head, flowing upwards and around you, and the light from your heart, shining in rays all around you. And you're zooming out, and you're noticing that light touch other points of light. And you zoom out even more, and you zoom out more, and you see a grid where the rays of light from your heart are shining out and hitting other points of light, which are other people's hearts, other souls' hearts, other beings' hearts. And you see the huge network, all the hearts connected through the light, the information we're about to channel through everybody and everything. Now focus on the light that's coming out of your head, at the top. And zoom out. And zoom out. And notice how it connects with everything above you and around you like a shower of light. So we're sending out a message with our heart. And we're receiving a message with our mind so that we may process it and articulate it. so that it may give guidance for healing for anybody who needs it. And we end off the connection with gratitude to say thank you that we may connect so that we may bring wisdom from the collective, that we all may share and grow together. Thank you. Oh, nice breath, sit up straight and a nice little stretch. Oof. Okay. Should we begin, Saturn?
Yes.
Right.
Wonderful.
I feel very much like with our full moon tomorrow night, that we should start with your moon.
Oh, with my moon, yes. Let's start with my moon. The feminine energy. Oh, she's talkative.
Good.
Say a
Let her have her
lot.
say so she doesn't sit impatiently on the chair waiting for her turn, you know?
Okay, let's see. What do you want to show us today?
Yes. What guidance do you have for us? I think also because of the moon coming actually tomorrow, maybe she can give us some guidance on what to do, you know, some action to take.
Oh. So I pulled the 9 of Cups. Wonderful. It's a very beautiful energy, a very take care of yourself, focus on the inward type of energy that I'm getting. It's a very stable energy as well, especially since we're in these chaotic times now. It speaks a lot to grounding yourself and focusing, taking care of yourself. You know, we're so frantic to get and do and get back to normal life. I feel what it's saying now is to basically just sit with yourself and take care of yourself. Just feel what comes, and with that energy you'll be able to open up a space for the universe to give you things, and so that you receive more. Yeah, so that's what she said. That's basically what her message is.
Wow, that's beautiful. Do you have a book that accompanies it?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Because I know a lot of times there'll be like a little phrase in the original artist's work that just for me will be the game changer. That phrase, because they'll put it in a way and I'm just like, oh, that just sinks in. So I do enjoy having both the reader and the creator's viewpoint, you know. So can we hear it, please?
Yes. So in the book it says selfish and excess. And I feel that we've had too much excess of trying to do things for others and people pleasing. I don't feel that this is more a material excess or anything like that. I feel more it's saying, be selfish. Be selfish.
I think an excess of doing.
Excess of doing, yes, 100%. We're too much doing. We need to sit with ourselves and enable ourselves to receive as well.
Wow. I like that because it fits in line with, I mean, it's the weekend coming up, so perfect timing. I'm going to go on to the Gaia Oracle cards because I feel like it's also the feminine energy, but very grounding, which is exactly the guidance that you just recommended, you know. So yes, here's the nurturing, guiding, grounding Gaia. Let's take a look at these cards and let's see what comes through. Oh, nice. This is interesting. So we've got one called Thinking of You.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Let's see if I can just get it closer. And it says a loving thought and serendipity. So I love that. I'm going to read it from the book. And as I go along, sort of things come up. Right. Okay. This card is confirmation that someone you have been thinking of is also thinking of you. It may be someone who has passed away or a living friend, family member, or loved one. Our thoughts and feelings are energy frequencies or wavelengths that transcend space and time. So I think I'm just going to stop there because I think immediately, what this brings up for me is the sympathy and sort of difficulty that, you know, if you are managing, you're very grateful for it. Some of us are some people are just getting by, but then there's people who aren't getting by, and people who are who have passed and have been sick, and there's a lot of relationships that have, you know, things have happened, and a lot of businesses that have been lost, and there's a lot of loss that has happened, you know. So this for me is, you know, someone who has passed away, or, you know, someone that you've lost, really is I think what's actually coming up with this card. So our thoughts and feelings are energy frequencies or wavelengths that transcend space and time. We all transmit and receive information through our thoughts and feelings. It's okay. It makes no difference whether someone is near or far, alive or has passed away. We are subconsciously in constant communications with those we think about and love. Okay. So yes, I definitely, last week, one of our, you know, in my group of friends, one of our close friends passed, and my boat of certainty was rocked. Very, very much rocked. And I think that's a lot of us are feeling, yeah, that disconnection, you know, from those people that we're losing. So, right. So having heard this, you probably imagine your thoughts traveling through space and time. However, in actuality, nothing really travels anywhere. So this is what we just said. This is because energetically or spiritually, there is no separation in the first place. We are all interconnected and ultimately one, eternally held within an ocean of divine love. The great cosmic ocean of life is as vast and endless as we can imagine it to be, and at the same time, it can be smaller than the smallest particle. So I love that, because it's totally what our connecting meditation was. Just connecting to everything. And I think the biggest pain that people are feeling now is the sense of loss, what a lot of people have lost, people and relationships and businesses and visions of the future, you know, our future fantasies, which we're in love with. And and then also feeling very isolated. I feel like people are feeling very, very isolated, alone. And I think that thinking of you and realizing that we are all just one organism, and we're all just little cells of it, all little pieces of it, you know, to help ease some of that sense of loneliness and uncertainty, because we actually all are, this is happening to all of us as an organism, as a human organism, as a species. This is happening to us, you know, so don't think you're alone. Thinking of you, whoever's thinking, if you're thinking of other people and whatever, the other people are thinking of you.
You energetically pick it up. Yes.
And we are all concerned for each other.
Yeah, I was getting that same message as you were reading it, that it was coming through as wherever you place your energy, and thoughts are energy, it goes towards that. So you are intertwined constantly, and energy never leaves. So you just get more intertwined. You can redirect it, but it's always there. So separation is only happening in the 3D now. It's only physically that we are experiencing it. But in the 5th dimension, we are constantly communicating with each other, which is so special, because I feel like how the planets are moving now, especially with all the retrogrades we are in, forcing us to look inward, forcing us to reevaluate, and kind of just saying, hello, remember the spirit realm? It's still here. Because I feel we were so busy and moving and doing everything in life that now the world is just like, stop, you need to remember this different part of me. It's not just physically. You don't just live in the physical realm. You live in the spiritual realm, in the energetic realm as well. And we need to remember that. So that's a very good reminder for that, especially if you are in separation with anyone, or even if it's your dreams. That energy can be redirected if you need to like reassess your dreams, or you never separate from the ones you truly love. So that energy is constantly flowing, constant communication is happening.
Yes. I think for a lot of people, most people, you know, if you're not familiar with and applying the sort of what people call the 5D concepts to the way that you're seeing the world, then loss is the most devastating thing. It's the most devastating thing. But yeah, and I just want to, just for those people watching, if you're not sure what we're talking about when we talk about 5D, someone asked me the question, what is this 5D thing? And it's, you don't see things differently. It's not like you can see different colors or, you can see movement coming off someone's body or whatever. It's just like zooming out basically and seeing that there are other patterns that structure the social world and other patterns that structure the conceptual world. So like all our technology, all our growth, all our education, everything, those are our conceptual world. And that plus the economics, even economics is an energetic world. Some people have more energy to spend, some have, it's just the division of resources. That's all that economics is. So 5D is just a perspective. It's just a way of seeing, like imagine if you had an overall account statement of the country's finances or something. You energetically you're seeing that. So you're seeing in when you're interacting with people, when you're interacting with group, you can see the dynamic of resources and energy changing, where the attention goes. You can see where the where attention is needed. You can see where there's a vacuum beginning, and that's what seeing 5D is. It's like this energy, this view of now seeing energy as a pattern and not just the basic, like, this person's talking to that person. You can see that there's group dynamic and power interplay and whatever. So that's really what, for me, the best way I can sort of articulate what 5D is, because people think it's like, okay, you can walk around and see everyone's aura and the angels flying around. And no, it's just adding a different layer of perspective to how you see the whole big picture playing out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's move on. Do you want to do your sun pack? So sun is definitely more masculine and definitely 3D, but also way more than that. We know how many dimensions, endless.
Yeah, let's see what is our message for today. Oh, okay, it jumped out. We have King of Wands.
Wow.
Wow, lots of fire energy we have there. So let's read from the book first, and then we can go on to the channeled message. It says skill and transformation. Wow, that's beautiful.
It's nice. I'm writing this down, so just as we go along there.
So basically the message I'm getting from it is the transformation that the world is going through now. I mean, while we were doing our meditation, a message came through of that purifying fire. In the Bible, they talk about it, about how we are put through a purifying fire. So when you want to purify gold, you put it through the flames and all the bad stuff rises to the top. So we're going through this transformation fire, and we're seeing all the bad stuff in the world and in ourselves come up for us to work on and work through and heal because of it. Fire can be very healing as well, sometimes seen as just that spurt of, I know what people usually see water as a healing energy, but fire as well, because it's a rise of the phoenix. You have to go through all this to really be stripped of your ego and yourself, to finally see your true form and the true form of society and civilization that we're going through, to finally see what needs work and what you really are. So it's very, very beautiful.
Wow. I love that. So what's so funny is in my Gaia pack, I have a card that is purification of fire. And I opened my pack and one card came out, and I opened my pack and it came up on the second card.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah, so because I called for it and it just, I mean, it came up immediately, purification by fire. And it says there, so this, I'm just going to resonate this with you. Bare essentials, the naked truth, and then ultimately wholeness.
Oh, wow. That's so
Because yeah,
special.
once you've stripped away those layers that you don't need, those illusions that you think you need, and they are comforting you, and once you let go of them, you know, so I've been really working on the sense of certainty, because this has been you know, so rocked in our lives, and you know, I've been stripping away illusions of things that I thought were certain and were definitely illusions. Even the sense of certainty is an illusion. You know, even the sense of certainty is an illusion, because anything you, I mean, you could just have you know, have a bite of your toast at home alone in the morning and you're gone. You know, it's just like that. It's just like that. There's just no sense of certainty in being conscious in this reality, or in people being around, or in keeping a job, or in anything. It's gone. The sense of certainty is wiped out. So then it's like I'm at a point where I understand that I have free will to decide in terms of how I, you know, face the reality and interpret it. And I don't want to, you know, say to myself, okay, well, this is all an illusion and there is no certainty, so just feel fearful and uncertainty forever. But somehow to become completely certain in the fact of uncertainty and become like, you know, secure and grounded that there's just, you have no chance to predict or control any of this. Just let it go. Just let it go. You can have fantasies and expectations, but just don't attach emotionally to them. You know, just like enjoy them for the little mind, you know, the mind dream that they are, the little mind trip that they are. And yeah, and just like become completely okay with anything just falling apart, or a new surprise, a new offer in some, a new opportunity or whatever. Just become completely open to it and grab it like with such this receiving energy, which you mentioned, you know, just like, okay, whatever, I'm taking it, let's see what happens, you know. But that's easier said than done, you know, and that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to bring the unicorns in. So the lovely unicorns are, oh, for me, I think such a good way to end, actually, because they always give guided action. They always say, like, go and do this, go and do that. So I think for your one, we said definitely the moon gave us that we need to relax and nurture ourselves. Yeah, which was the other one? The thinking of you was to remember that we're all connected. So that was so soothing and comforting. And then the King of Clubs, King of Wands, was all about skill and transformation, which is what we're all doing. And there's purification of fire. So cool. What a lovely reading. It's so relevant, isn't it? So relevant.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's take a unicorn. So unicorns, I love them. They always come in my bubbles of my coffee. I see the rainbow there and I know that they're there for the day. Okay, so we've pulled this one. Let's see what this beautiful one is. Oh, well, so this is Saturn and ours first actual connection with each other, and I think that's just a very immediate little answer for us, a new friendship. How lovely is that? So this one says, oh, how beautiful is this? And it's so pertinent to the group's, you know, healings and things we're trying to do. It says here, seek out your soul family. Tip 1, surround yourself with positive people, easy, and spend more time socializing. So that one means we're just going to have to go on Zoom more because we are not allowed to do that. Okay, so here we go. Let's have a read of what this beautiful unicorn is telling us to do. I'm just going to have a sip of water. Right, this unicorn is calling you to surround yourself with positive people who love you, accept you, and support your desire to grow. Nice. As you accelerate on your spiritual path, it is important that you are connected with like-hearted souls who share your vision for an abundant, happy life full of magic and possibility. And that's great because we've been creating groups like that. Laughter and fun within these friendships will help you to raise your vibration and attract positive encounters through your uplifted energy. At present, you may feel influenced or held back by friends or family who are stuck in their own judgments and limitations. Wow. See any patterns or wounds that are mirroring back to you as a gift. Okay, that's lovely. I think a lot of people are being challenged in their intimate and friendship relationships during this time. Personally, I've experienced this. Everyone's sort of being pushed, and boundaries are being crossed, and boundaries are being set, you know.
Sorry. Going
For
into 2020, we did enter the age of Aquarius, which talks about redefining things and reworking things. Also, we are hitting a lot of retrogrades, and tomorrow's new moon, especially with the eclipse in Sagittarius, which is a fire element. We've got lots of fire going on here, which is also an expansive energy that we're getting. So we're expanding, but not in the way that we like usually did physically. Yeah. We're expanding our inner worlds constantly now. So
yes. Oh, yeah. Definitely. Yes, definitely. I think yeah, because we've had to spend so much time by ourselves, most of us, you know. I'm lucky my kiddos are with me, so I'm not always by myself, but yeah, a lot of us have had to like entertain ourselves from within ourselves. Okay, so let's see what next it says. We said, be willing to do the inner work to overcome those patterns for yourself. So I think that's really great. Or if there has been any clashes or anything coming up, then the action there is to go and say, oh, what is this bringing up for me? Why did this trigger me? Why did I get upset? So that's very useful. Forgiveness will help you move forward faster than resentment. So bless them, forgive them, and then let them go. I think that's lovely advice. I would apply that immediately. If you release relationships, it may create a space in your life, and for a time, you may feel as if you are journeying alone whilst your new soul family finds you. Use this period to go within and deepen your love for yourself. Nice. Matches your first card. Trust and know that you are worthy of a wonderful group of companions who support each other. This card encourages you to follow your guidance to new places or attend events where you are likely to meet people from your soul group. Remember, they are looking for you just as you are for them. It will be a beautiful reunion when you recognize each other. I love that. And what I love is that it goes so well with the thinking of you card.
Yes.
And people feeling so disconnected in their lives right now. And then we have thinking of you in friendship. And look at the coloring of those two cards. Look at that energy, that sun energy.
Yeah.
Isn't that beautiful? Just pure
this
sun.
Card is on the bottom of my deck. When I turned it, it was the sun.
Yes.
So I had the sun on the bottom of the deck. So it all ties in so wonderfully.
It's perfect. It was a beautiful impromptu channeled reading, I think. Came so nicely. So let's just see how can we sum it up for people just to so during this time, I think of the full moon is for people to go inwards, consider anything that's been brought up in the last bit of time in terms of, you know, friendships, relationships. I think relationships and friendships and things come up a lot today, and self-care and self-love, because obviously you're going to be getting those people in, your soul family in, by nurturing yourself and being your authentic self. You're going to attract the like-minded people. So I think, yes, definitely let's spend this next bit of time going inward, nurturing, seeking, mirroring, being very gentle on ourselves in terms of that mirroring, no judgment. You know, we drop the judgments of that. We're just witnessing what our patterns are that serve us or don't. And then I think that should give us a bit of a renewed energy to then socialize, which was the next step. And I think the order that we did them in was really perfect, because it was, you know, it was nurture yourself. You're still always connected to others. And then the transformation that's taking place, and then go out into the social world. Perfect.
Yeah.
Exactly how you would start a business, how you would start new friendships, how you would take on any new change, any new venture would be to take on those. First, calm, look after, figure it out, and then get the skills, and then take the action to create that social world. Because really all that business is, all that everything is, it's all just friendships. It's all social connections. So wow, what a cool reading, especially for a group healing, that the message is to find your group and nurture yourself within the group. So, oh, that was great. Thank you so much for doing it with me, Saturn. I appreciate it. And yeah, anybody who wants to be involved in any more of these in the future, please get in touch. We do them, I do them regularly. We facilitate them. I just like acting as the sort of facilitator and voice, but everyone has as much say here. It's not, I'm not the sage on the stage. So I love getting the alternate perspectives. I know mine already. I want to hear the other ones. Put them into and filter them so that we can have a really a good overview, a good broad perspective of all the narratives, and then we can apply as required. Thank you, my darling. It was so fun.
Yeah.
Have a beautiful day. Thank you,
Thank
everybody.
you so
And
much.
yeah, find nataliejwhite.com is where you'll find all the contact stuff. And I'll always put on the latest things happening. So you can find any more things like this happening there. Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
Mm.